Well, hello, boys and girls. It's my favorite time of the week. It's Sunday morning, and we're preparing for the well lubed twister match this afternoon. I'm at my life coach Inga's house, and she's preparing food for the contestants, who, as you know, who this week will be the Bourneville Moist Bottoms and the Lamont Lubineers. As you know, last week, the Manville Marauders defeated the Stony Plain Stretch Hogs in a back and forth contest that was very exciting. There was rum o'clock for quite a bit of it as well, so a good time was had by all. Hope you can come here sometime, by the way, and if you want any details on that, you can head over to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube and check out some of the other vids I do as well. I'm sure you've seen all the ones I've done up until now. Why wouldn't you? We're on to the San Jose Sharks now, and we are into the trade deadline series, I guess you could say. With the San Jose Sharks, actually, I've been spending minutes on the trade deadline series, as I always do, and I'm finding finding it very difficult to be able to make trades work, and I'm sure the general managers are too. This expansion thing is really thrown everything for a loop. It's pretty difficult to make trades because a lot of the players that you're going to give up or want to give up or going to get back are going to be exposed in the expansion draft. So there's a lot more levels to the trade deadline this year than usual, but I think there'll still be trades to be made. For San Jose, they're looking like they need some help on the wings, especially the left side, and they're in a tough spot because they've proclaimed themselves that they're transitioning into youth. So giving up draft picks is not something that they really want to do too much, but they're also in a situation where their window is closing fast, and they really have to make themselves as good as they possibly can for the playoffs, because they don't have too many more chances to be able to call themselves a contender. However, they can call themselves a contender this year. They certainly have the forwards and defense. They certainly have a lineup that in the West can be very competitive in the playoffs this year. My advice, what would I do in this situation? Probably the same thing that San Jose is going to do, Wilson's going to do, and that's try to use third or fourth round picks to pick up some decent players that are going to be either free agents or exposed in the expansion draft anyways. Like I said, I spent minutes on this and I came up with a few names for you. Matthew Perreault in Winnipeg, I think, would be my top choice out of all of the ones that are available. He can play a lot of different areas on your up and down the lineup. He's predominantly a left winger, and that's really kind of what you need. Timu Meyer that they just brought up, and you have LeBlanc, but they're fairly young, and young players are known to kind of fade in the playoffs. You really don't have a left winger that can put the puck in the net consistently, as shown. And Perreault would probably help out in that area. And you could probably have him for a third or fourth pick, maybe. I don't know. The competition for players like him could be fairly high. You might have to give up a second. And I loathe to do that, but if you're going to make a mark, you're going to have to increase your left side. There's another guy I'll throw in there, but I think he's going to be too expensive for you, and that'll be Sharp from Dallas. Not to mention the fact that at this point, we don't know if Dallas is going to be competitive come down to the trade deadline. Anyways, honestly, from what I've seen from him, he's declined quite a bit the last 2 or 3 years, and I would actually stay away unless you could get him for a really cheap price. A guy that doesn't really put points up on the board, but will help you on your power play and plays a playoff style game. In fact, with the Rangers, he was an exceptional player for them when they made it to the finals, is Brian Boyle in Tampa Bay. He generally plays center, but he has been playing left wing for Tampa and has done very well. And he can pot him too a little bit. He's a guy you could put up on even the top line with two offensive players, say with maybe Thornton to protect Thornton and somebody like that. With the on the right side, maybe throw Donskoy on there, who's injured right now, but um, that is something that I would do. Then you have P.A. Parenteau in New Jersey, who's an interesting pickup. His possession numbers are off the charts; they're fantastic, which San Jose could use. He probably. Oh, by the way, Boyle might be. You might be able to get him for a third, maybe. And with Parenteau, you could probably get him for a fifth or sixth. He's another guy that can play up and down the lineup. He can play both sides, right or left. Um, he can pot your goals, but he's very streaky. If he gets on a streak, then great. If he doesn't, it's great. So it's kind of a risk. But all the other players that I've looked at that would probably be people you would really need, you're going to have to give up a lot more to get them, and you would also have to give up players that the other team probably don't want back, or youth which you don't want to give up, and you don't have all that much youth to give up in your lineup in your organization. Um, I hear a lot of people talking about defense, helping defense. I think San Jose is okay on defense. One thing you might think about doing is you have um, Dylan, and you have two DeMello and Heed, who could probably play his spot. That is something, if you were to give up, let's say you were to give up a second um, to get somebody like Perreault or Boyle, maybe you could trade Dylan to get to another contender that needs defense to get a draft pick back to replace it. That's something you could do. Anyways, hopefully that helps you out with, and I hope you have your journals out. You know, make sure you're studying up on this stuff. This is important information for you. We are on to. We'll be on to probably. I think I might do the Leafs next. All our contestants are downstairs getting lubed up, and I am quite. And I'm just about to have some brekkie before the proceedings. Not to mention, I have to jump in the U-Haul, grab ourselves probably another load or two of lube, and maybe even a load of Nutella. I think we're running low on that. I think we've only got about one vat left. The Jaime's people also have to remind you, especially on a day like today, Jaime's body lube. When your Donskoy has some hurdle. That's my full 42, everyone. Have a great day. Lots of love to you.